This video shows a woman ringing doorbells, then vanishing. In the city of Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, a series of eerie events has unsettled residents and sparked widespread speculation. CCTV footage circulating online shows a mysterious woman wandering the streets of Raja Mandi and Sona Garden at midnight. What makes the videos particularly unsettling is not just her unusual behavior of ringing doorbells, but the way she appears to vanish into the night without a trace. The woman, dressed in a salwar kameez with her face obscured by a long dupatta, has become the center of local conversation. In the footage, she is seen moving silently between houses, pressing doorbells before slipping into the darkness. Even stranger, animals seem disturbed in her presence. Stray dogs and cattle bolt away as she passes, their nervous reactions only adding to the chilling atmosphere captured by the cameras. Another detail noticed by viewers is that both of her feet seem to be wrapped in cloth, creating an even more puzzling image of her appearance. Despite multiple video clips surfacing, no one has been able to identify the woman. Neighbors and locals are left questioning who she is and why she is roaming the streets at such late hours. The complete lack of recognition within the community has only heightened the mystery, as many in the area feel uneasy about her intentions. Police involvement has been cautious. Additional Superintendent of Police Niranjan Sharma confirmed that no formal complaints have been filed, but authorities are nonetheless aware of the situation. Local police have been instructed to increase patrols in the affected neighborhoods and to remain watchful. The woman's unexplained presence, however, has so far eluded investigation, leaving residents with more questions than answers. Online, the footage has spread rapidly, drawing comments from across India. Some suggest supernatural explanations, pointing to her sudden disappearances, while others believe it may be an elaborate act meant to unsettle the community. Yet, with no confirmation from officials and no clues as to her identity, the videos remain open to interpretation. The mystery of Ben Tiner. The story of Ben Tiner, the missing cowboy, remains one of the most haunting and mysterious disappearances in recent Canadian history. Ben was 31 years old when he vanished on the 26th of January 2019 near Merritt, British Columbia, where he had recently begun working as the manager of the Nicola Ranch. Raised in a family of ranchers, Ben was no stranger to the land, animals, or the responsibility that came with working cattle. His sudden disappearance not only devastated his family, but also left investigators and the ranching community puzzled, with far more questions than answers. Ben's upbringing reflected his deep bond with the cowboy way of life. Born on the 25th of August, 1987, in Florida, he moved with his family to Wyoming, where they operated their own cattle ranch in Laramie. From an early age, Ben was surrounded by horses, dogs, and cattle, and his skills quickly became apparent. He excelled in horsemanship, leatherworking, and whip-making, developing both practical abilities and a love for the traditions of the ranch. Friends and family described him as a gentle giant with a pure soul, someone who was as dedicated to helping others as he was to the land he worked. His younger brother Jack spoke of Ben's honesty, charisma, and kindness, qualities that made him deeply loved by all who knew him. Education and travel broadened Ben's experience. After attending Tarleton State University in Texas, where he studied animal production and joined the ranch horse team, he went on to work with respected teams at Texas and the University of Wyoming. His passion for ranching and exploration took him to Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Mexico, Russia, and Canada. By November 2018, he had accepted a role as ranch manager at Nicola Ranch, a large property near Merritt. Those who worked with him spoke highly of his leadership and professionalism. It was in late January 2019 that the tragedy began. On Saturday the 26th, Ben was last seen riding his horse Gunny. Reports confirmed that he returned that evening, marking the final confirmed sighting of him. Nothing seemed unusual at the time. Yet by early Monday morning, hunter Kim Robinson stumbled upon Gunny wandering alone on a logging road about 15 miles from Nicola Ranch. The horse was still saddled, wearing full tack, but one rein was broken. Gunny was nervous but uninjured, and Robinson, who was an experienced tracker, noticed something unusual. There were no human footprints near the scene, only Gunny's tracks and his own. The absence of any other marks suggested that Ben's disappearance had not occurred in that spot, leaving a troubling mystery about how Gunny had ended up there. The details surrounding the case grew stranger. Ben had not told anyone of plans to leave. Even more puzzling, his dog Sue, who rarely left his side, remained in his home. His wallet and cell phone were also left behind, pointing to the fact that he had not intended a long trip. This behavior was entirely out of character for him. Co-workers like Tammy Stryer noted how none of it made sense. The horse showed no sign of distress, there were no scratches or signs of struggle, and yet Ben was nowhere to be found. Authorities quickly launched a massive search effort. Dozens of search and rescue teams, aided by drones, helicopters, and dogs, scoured the area. Volunteers on horseback and snowmobiles joined the effort, and the Tiner family traveled to British Columbia to participate. Despite the extensive search, no trace of Ben surfaced. The broken rein and Gunny's condition were the only physical clues recovered. Investigators questioned whether Ben could have been transported by vehicle to another location, with police noting the possibility of a truck and trailer being involved. This led to speculation that someone else may have played a role in his disappearance. Yet, for months, nothing concrete was discovered. His home and belongings provided no clear leads, and his phone was initially assumed to have been left behind. Later, troubling claims emerged suggesting it had turned up in Merritt, reportedly in the possession of a teenage boy who claimed to have bought it. This unverified report added to suspicions of foul play, but was never publicly confirmed by authorities. In 2021, 2 years after Ben went missing, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police formally stated that they believed criminal activity was involved. The Major Crimes Unit took over the investigation, but few details were released, with police citing the need to protect the integrity of the case. Spokesman Corporal Jesse O'Donoghue said that investigators were convinced Ben's disappearance was not voluntary and that he had likely been the victim of foul play. Despite this, no arrests have been made and no suspects named. The Tiner family, devastated by the loss of their beloved son and brother, worked tirelessly to raise awareness of the case. His mother Jennifer described the anguish they felt, explaining that their hearts were shattered and their lives thrown into turmoil. They offered a $15,000 reward for information, hoping to encourage someone to come forward with answers. Ben's story continues to resonate because of the man he was and the mystery that surrounds his disappearance. He was not reckless, nor someone who would walk away from his responsibilities. His dedication to his work, his love for his family, and his reputation for honesty made it clear that something extraordinary had taken place. The discovery of Gunny, safe yet alone, symbolized the heart of the mystery. A cowboy missing without a trace, leaving behind his trusted horse, his dog, and all the belongings he would normally carry with him. Today, the disappearance of Ben Tiner remains unsolved. His family and friends continue to search for answers, and the investigation is ongoing. Though years have passed, the hope for resolution has not faded. His story has become one of the enduring mysteries of the Canadian wilderness, a haunting reminder of how someone so deeply connected to the land could vanish without explanation. The missing cowboy's legacy endures not just in the ranching community, but also in the hearts of those who knew him. His gentle nature, love of books, and commitment to his craft continue to inspire those who hear his story. Yet the question of what happened between that Saturday evening in January and the discovery of Gunny remains unsolved. Until the truth is uncovered, the disappearance of Ben Tiner will remain one of the most perplexing and emotional mysteries in modern ranching history. Trees planted on top of alleged pyramids in China. In the heart of Anlong County, nestled in the lush landscape of southwest China's Guizhou province, lies a series of pyramidal structures that have captivated archaeologists, historians, and enthusiasts alike. These mysterious formations, often compared to other ancient pyramid sites worldwide, have fueled a mix of scientific curiosity and public speculation. While their exact origins and purpose remain uncertain, the structures have recently drawn attention for an unexpected reason: reports that local officials are planting trees on and around the pyramids. This unusual activity has led some to suggest a deliberate attempt to obscure or cover up these discoveries, adding another layer of intrigue to the story of the Anlong Pyramids. The pyramidal structures of Anlong County are impressive for their sheer size and geometry. Rising from the earth in a region known for its karst landscapes, these formations resemble ancient architectural marvels, found in civilizations such as Egypt and Mesoamerica. Local folklore has long associated these formations with ancient builders, fueling theories that they are man-made rather than natural geological features. Preliminary studies have indicated that the pyramids are composed of sedimentary rock and are aligned in ways that suggest intentional design. Some researchers have speculated that these formations could be remnants of an ancient and long-forgotten civilization, possibly older than China's recorded history. In recent years, observers have noticed an unusual development: the systematic planting of trees atop and around the pyramidal structures. While reforestation is a common practice in China, aimed at combating deforestation and soil erosion, the specific focus on these structures has raised eyebrows. The dense planting of trees appears to obscure the view of the formations, making it harder for researchers and the public to study or even access them. This activity has sparked a wave of speculation online and among local communities. Some believe it is a deliberate attempt by authorities to hide the pyramids from further scrutiny, possibly to prevent public fascination from spiraling into controversy or to protect sensitive information about the site. The idea of a government cover-up is not without precedent, as China has a history of tightly controlling information about archaeological finds, especially those that could challenge conventional narratives of history. For instance, the famous Terracotta Army and other ancient tombs have been strictly regulated, with only select areas opened for public or academic access. One theory suggests that the Anlong pyramids might hold evidence of a previously unknown civilization, which could potentially rewrite significant portions of Chinese or even global history. The planting of trees could be an attempt to delay excavation and research until officials can better control the narrative or assess the implications of the discoveries. The planting of trees has not gone unnoticed by locals, and several amateur researchers and tourists who have visited the area have documented the changing landscape around the pyramids. Some researchers have expressed frustration, noting that tree roots could potentially damage any underlying structures, complicating future research. Others argue that even if the pyramids are natural formations, the planting of trees could make geological studies more challenging. In both cases, the addition of vegetation has made it harder to discern the true nature of the formations. Meanwhile, some report that the site may hold evidence of involvement by previous advanced civilizations that lived in the area thousands of years ago, citing similarities between the Anlong pyramids and other ancient pyramid structures worldwide. For now, the true nature of the Anlong pyramids and the motivation behind the tree planting remain a mystery. An interesting memo reveals that JFK probed the CIA to release UFO files just 10 days before he was taken out. As the long-classified John F. Kennedy files are set to be released, a resurfaced memo allegedly written by the former president has reignited speculation regarding his interest in UFOs. Dated November 12, 1963, just 10 days before he lost his life, the memo reportedly shows Kennedy requesting the CIA director to brief him on all available UFO intelligence. Although the recipient's name is redacted, John McCone was leading the agency at the time, making him the likely recipient of the request. In the letter, Kennedy expressed concern over unidentified objects in the skies, particularly in relation to the Cold War tensions with the Soviet Union. He emphasized the importance of distinguishing unknown aerial phenomena from potential American surveillance operations. His request sought to prevent misunderstandings that could lead to catastrophic consequences if the Soviets mistook a UFO for US espionage activity. The memo also called for the establishment of a data-sharing program with NASA to ensure mission directors could properly account for unidentified objects in their defensive planning. The document first came to public attention through William Lester, a researcher who claimed to have obtained it under the Freedom of Information Act while working on his 2011 book. The memo's authenticity remains uncertain, as the CIA has neither confirmed nor denied its validity. The agency has consistently declined to comment on the matter, adding to the mystery surrounding Kennedy's interest in classified UFO files. The timing of Kennedy's alleged request and his departure has fueled speculation that his pursuit of classified UFO intelligence may have played a role in his untimely passing. Whether the memo is genuine or part of a broader ploy, it remains a compelling piece of history. Marina Popovich and the mystery of the Phobos 2 mission. The Phobos 2 mission remains one of the most mysterious and controversial space explorations in history. launched by the Soviet Union in July 1988, it was the second Soviet spacecraft designed to study Phobos, the mysterious moon of Mars. While its primary mission was to analyze the Martian atmosphere and surface, Phobos 2 ultimately became the center of intense speculation after it captured an image of what appeared to be an unidentified object near the Martian surface. The mission's abrupt loss of communication soon after transmitting these images only deepened the mystery. On March 27, 1989, just months before Phobos 2 lost contact with Earth, the spacecraft sent back a series of astonishing images. Among them was one that sparked worldwide intrigue, a photograph of a long, cylindrical object hovering above the Martian surface. Unlike anything previously observed in space, this object had a smooth, structured appearance and cast a distinct shadow on the terrain below. The clarity of the shadow indicated that the object was not an illusion caused by light or atmospheric conditions, but rather a tangible, physical entity. This discovery raised immediate questions. The elongated, cigar-shaped structure did not resemble any known asteroid or natural Martian formation. It remained stationary in a controlled position, unlike typical space debris that tumbles and drifts unpredictably through space. Some researchers noted that this mysterious object bore striking similarities to other reported sightings of cigar-shaped UFOs, both in Earth's atmosphere and beyond. The fact that an unmanned Soviet spacecraft orbiting Mars had captured such an image only intensified the debate over its possible origins. What happened immediately after the image was taken remains one of the most puzzling aspects of the Phobos 2 mission. Shortly after transmitting the images back to mission control, the spacecraft abruptly lost contact with Earth. Up until that moment, Phobos 2 had been operating normally. The sudden and unexplained disappearance of the spacecraft fueled speculation that its encounter with the unidentified object was directly linked to its fate. Some suggested that the spacecraft had been deliberately disabled by an unknown force, possibly to prevent further transmission of images. Others proposed that the presence of the object interfered with Phobos 2's systems, causing it to fail in an inexplicable manner. The Soviet Space Agency never provided a definitive explanation for the loss of Phobos 2. While technical failures were considered, the timing of the spacecraft's disappearance, occurring just after capturing the image, left many unanswered questions. The mystery surrounding the mission gained further traction when Soviet Air Force's colonel, engineer, and test pilot, Marina Popovich, held a press conference discussing Phobos 2 and its startling findings. Marina Popovich, a highly decorated Soviet test pilot known for setting over 100 aviation world records, publicly stated that the images captured by Phobos 2 revealed something extraordinary. She insisted that the cylindrical object was not a mere anomaly, but rather evidence of an unexplained presence near Mars. Her claims added weight to the growing belief that Phobos 2 had encountered something beyond human understanding. Beyond the Phobos 2 incident, Popovich also made other bold statements regarding UFO encounters. She claimed that both Soviet military and civilian pilots had confirmed at least 3,000 UFO sightings. Additionally, she asserted that the Soviet Air Forces and the KGB had recovered fragments of 5 crashed UFOs. Her testimony suggested that the Soviet government had long been aware of extraterrestrial phenomena, but had chosen to keep such knowledge classified. Popovich's revelations reinforced the idea that the Phobos 2 mission was more than just a failed space exploration effort. Her insistence that the object captured in the images was of great significance added credibility to the notion that mysterious activity was being observed and possibly monitored in space. To this day, the Phobos 2 mission remains a mystery. The mystery of the Winnamaka Petroglyphs. The Winnamaka Petroglyphs, located at the Winnamaka Lake site in Nevada, are the oldest known petroglyphs in North America, dating back at least 10,500 years and possibly as far as 14,800 years. These ancient carvings, etched into large limestone boulders, stand as silent witnesses to a lost time, offering a glimpse into the lives and beliefs of the early inhabitants of the region. Their true purpose and meaning, however, remain a mystery, fueling speculation and intrigue among archaeologists and historians. Unlike many other petroglyph sites that depict images of people, animals, or handprints, the Winnamaka petroglyphs are distinct in their abstract nature. The carvings consist of deeply grooved lines, dots, and intricate chain-like patterns which form complex designs. These unusual markings suggest that the creators of the petroglyphs had a symbolic or ritualistic intent, possibly communicating knowledge, spiritual beliefs, or astronomical observations. However, since no written records exist from this time period, the true significance of these carvings is still unknown. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Winnamaka petroglyphs is their incredible age. Dating back to the end of the last ice age, these carvings predate some of the most well-known ancient civilizations. Their presence raises intriguing questions about the people who created them, who they were, how they lived, and what they hoped to convey through their artistry. The petroglyphs also provide evidence that early human populations in North America were more sophisticated and culturally developed than previously thought. Despite decades of study, the Winnamaka petroglyphs continue to remain shrouded in mystery. Their meaning, purpose, and the identity of their creators remain speculative, but they serve as a powerful reminder of the deep and ancient history of the Americas, preserved in stone for thousands of years. Boriska, a child prodigy, was born in 1996 and is also known as Little Boris. According to his mother, who is a doctor, she recognized her son's exceptional nature when he was able to hold his head up without any assistance, a mere 2 weeks after his birth. According to her, he commenced speaking a few months after his birth and was capable of reading, drawing, and painting by the age of 18 months. When Boriska, at the young age of 2, attended kindergarten, his teachers were immediately impressed by his exceptional writing and language abilities and his impressive memory skills. This left a significant impression on his teachers, who could hardly believe the young child's remarkable abilities. The young boy has insisted on multiple occasions that he used to be a pilot from Mars and had traveled to Earth. Boriska's parents maintain that they didn't educate their son about space as a youngster, yet he would frequently converse about Mars, planetary structures, and extraterrestrial societies. According to reports, his infatuation with space became his primary interest, and soon after, he began proclaiming to have been born on the planet Mars. According to researchers, he was an introverted young man who exhibited intelligence above the norm. He asserts that there are still many unexplored mysteries on this planet, citing the Great Pyramid of Giza as an example of a structure that conceals valuable insights. Boriska claims that once the Sphinx is opened, using an unknown mechanism located behind its ear, human life will be transformed. The exact details of this mechanism are unclear to Boriska. Boriska elaborates that the incident on Mars was a result of a nuclear conflict among the inhabitants of the planet. According to him, a small number of people managed to survive and subsequently constructed shelters for protection while simultaneously developing new weaponry. According to the boy, Martians inhale carbon dioxide, and in case they visit Earth, they would require pipes filled with this gas to exhale. Boriska, despite experiencing a significant nuclear disaster in the distant past, Mars is said to harbor a community of extraterrestrial beings. He asserts that there are still many unexplored mysteries on this planet, citing the Great Pyramid of Giza as an example of a structure that conceals valuable insights. Boriska claims that once the Sphinx is opened, using an unknown mechanism located behind its ear, human life will be transformed. The exact details of this mechanism are unclear to Boriska. Oddly enough, many have pointed out that there is a mysterious hole that was mysteriously sealed up in the Sphinx's head. The Great Sphinx of Giza, commonly known as the Sphinx, is a grand limescale structure in the Golden Giza Desert of Egypt. The statue is of a reclining sphinx, a mythical creature that combines the head of a human with the body of a lion. The Sphinx is seen as a dangerous, merciless creature in Greek mythology. In Egyptian mythology, however, the Sphinx is a slightly less cruel creature. Unlike the Greek Sphinx, the Egyptian one is firstly male, and secondly is described as more benevolent than the Greek Sphinx. However, they are both thought to be extremely strong and guarded the entrance to temples in ancient times. Today, the Sphinx is a tourist attraction more than anything. Such an incredible architectural feat naturally draws a lot of attention, and historians and researchers have spent years delving into the history of the Sphinx. Naturally, this leaves various unanswered questions. The first modern archaeological dig of the Sphinx was undertaken in 1817, but it was some time before that it had been visited and captured in painting. Around 1798, French painter Vivant Denon painted a picture of the Sphinx, but when it was finished, critics noticed something a little strange. Denon had painted a man being pulled out of the head of the Sphinx. Two figures were helping a third out of the cavernous head of the statue, which had been painted side on. Now, you may wonder whether this was simply a matter of imagination. Perhaps Denon had wanted to add something a little different to the painting. But of course, nobody knew for sure, as it was the 18th century, and the beauty of both aviation and drone imagery had not quite been invented yet. However, in the 1920s, aerial photography had become possible, and lo and behold, what appeared on the Sphinx's head. A hole, big enough for a man to fit through. Naturally, this made Denon's painting all the more interesting. It appeared he'd actually seen people climbing out of the Sphinx, which begged the question, who was in the Sphinx, and what were they doing? Not a lot is known about the history of the Sphinx, or at least there isn't a lot of definitive knowledge, but researchers have noticed that the head of the Sphinx is made from different materials to the rest of the statue. The head appears to be made out of a man-made substance rather than limestone, hence the darkness of the stone of the head compared to the body. Furthermore, the Sphinx's head has hardly eroded and appears smoother than its body. This again points to the idea that the head was somehow interfered with, maybe long before any Western peoples even knew of its existence. But this still doesn't answer the question of why those men were in the head of the Sphinx. One thing that is known is that restoration work has been done on the Great Sphinx. Something to note, though, is that at the time, and as mentioned by Tour Egypt, systematic research on the water table, pollution, and on the properties of the stone and mortar were undertaken. They note, though, that for some unknown reason, these discoveries were not applied when the restoration work was being carried out. It's been theorized that the hole in the head of a Sphinx actually led to an ancient underground chamber, which then joined up to more underground chambers beneath the Great Pyramids. This secret city, as it was dubbed by the mainstream media, was allegedly found in March of 1935. Newspapers even covered the topic, and it was speculated that this discovery would have gone down in history as being one of the greatest. However, not one Egyptologist or researcher commented on the findings. It was almost as if every researcher forgot about these initial discoveries. There was complete silence from those studying and working alongside these structures. Back in 1987, a Japanese research team from Tokyo's Waseda University began an extensive underground survey of the regions surrounding the Great Sphinx statue, utilizing groundbreaking technology at the time known as the electromagnetic sounding survey radar, in an attempt to better image the sunken regions of the Sphinx statue. Under the direction of head researcher Sakuji Yoshimura, the team got some of the most accurate 3D rendered images of the statue ever seen, with a strange revelation that no one had seen coming. For some unknown reason, the Japanese survey team discovered an extensive system of cavities and tunnels inside and underneath the Great Sphinx monolith that were believed to have been previously undiscovered. According to the team, south of the Sphinx was a hollow tunnel believed to have been 2.5 meters wide and 3 meters tall, connecting two chambers, a small and large chamber that appears to connect to additional tunnels that stretched north, south, and southeast of the Sphinx's direction. Portions of shafts were found in unconnected areas beneath the Sphinx, with additional cavities found inside the structure of the Sphinx and beside the body of the Sphinx, unconnected to the tunnels beneath the monolith. None of these findings have been pursued after the survey, with many denying the existence of the tunnels and shafts, despite the mountains of clear imaging evidence gathered under the direction of lead researchers. The frustrating thing about this is that there's no conclusion to the mysterious hole seen in the Sphinx's head. We know it was there as we have photographs and paintings, but as of right, only theories can be put forward for why it was sealed up. The ancient Egyptians have filled history with spectacular cultural offerings, from the pharaohs to the pyramids to the Great Sphinx itself. When we as a race discover something that old, it's only natural to begin to wonder whether there is a little more to these beautiful pieces of history than the accepted truths. Who knows what really lurks in the mysterious ancient catacombs beneath the Sphinx? Perhaps one day we might find out. Until that time, though, we can only put forward our theories as to why these chambers have been kept a secret from the public. In the annals of ancient history, few figures loom as large as Queen Nefertiti, the great royal wife of Pharaoh Akhenaten and one of ancient Egypt's most iconic and mysterious queens. Renowned for her beauty, power, and influence, Nefertiti's reign during the 14th century BCE marked a transformative period in Egyptian history, characterized by religious revolution, cultural upheaval, and artistic innovation. Yet, despite her prominence in the historical record, the mysterious disappearance of Queen Nefertiti remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the ancient world. Nefertiti's rise to power began in the early years of her husband's reign, when Pharaoh Akhenaten ascended to the throne and embarked on a radical religious reform known as the Amarna period. Central to this reform was the worship of the sun disk Aten as the supreme deity and the establishment of a new capital city at Amarna dedicated to the cult of Aten. As Akhenaten's chief consort and co-regent, Nefertiti played a pivotal role in promoting the worship of Aten and disseminating the ideology of the Amarna revolution throughout Egypt. During her tenure as queen, Nefertiti wielded unprecedented influence and authority, serving as a powerful political and religious figure alongside her husband. Her iconic depiction in ancient Egyptian art, characterized by her elegant profile, elongated neck, and distinctive crown, attests to her status as a paragon of beauty and grace, revered by both her contemporaries and future generations. Yet, despite her prominence and influence, Nefertiti's fate remains shrouded in mystery, with conflicting theories and conjectures about her ultimate destiny. The most widely accepted theory posits that Nefertiti died during the reign of her husband and was subsequently buried in a royal tomb in the Valley of the Kings. However, no conclusive evidence of her burial has ever been found, leaving her final resting place a tantalizing mystery for archaeologists and historians. Another theory suggests that Nefertiti may have outlived her husband and ruled Egypt as a pharaoh in her own right under the name Neferuaten. This theory is supported by evidence of a female ruler named Neferuaten who succeeded Akhenaten and continued his religious reforms, albeit with a more moderate approach. However, the identity of Neferuaten remains uncertain, and it is unclear whether she was indeed Nefertiti or another member of the royal family. Intriguingly, recent archaeological discoveries have reignited speculation about Nefertiti's fate, with tantalizing clues emerging from the sands of Egypt that suggest she may have been buried in a hidden chamber within the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun. In 2015, a team of archaeologists led by British Egyptologist Nicholas Reeves proposed the existence of a secret chamber behind the walls of Tutankhamun's tomb, which they believed could contain the long-lost burial of Queen Nefertiti. Although subsequent investigations failed to conclusively confirm the presence of a hidden chamber within Tutankhamun's tomb, the tantalizing possibility of uncovering Nefertiti's final resting place has captured the imagination of scholars and enthusiasts alike. If Nefertiti's tomb were to be discovered, it would not only shed light on her mysterious disappearance, but also provide invaluable insights into the religious and political landscape of ancient Egypt during the Amarna period. Yet, even as the search for Nefertiti's tomb continues, her legacy endures as a symbol of female power and influence in ancient Egypt. Whether as a beautiful queen, a formidable ruler, or a strange figure lost to the sands of time, Nefertiti remains an icon of antiquity whose mystique continues to fascinate and inspire generations of admirers. As of right now, the mysterious disappearance of Queen Nefertiti remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of ancient Egypt, shrouded in speculation, intrigue, and conjecture. From her influential role in the Amarna period to her mysterious fate after the death of her husband, Nefertiti's legacy endures as a testament to the enduring allure of the ancient world and the mysteries that lie buried beneath its sands. As archaeologists continue to uncover new evidence and insights into the life and times of Queen Nefertiti, her story will continue to captivate and inspire generations to come. North Korea is known for its secretive and isolated nature, which has led to numerous unsolved mysteries and unanswered questions over the years. While the secretive regime tightly controls information, some mysteries have managed to capture international attention. The mystery of the North Korean ghost ships. In an extensive inquiry, Japanese authorities are probing a series of mysterious vessels discovered adrift along the country's shores, each carrying individuals who had passed away on board. The investigation is focused on unraveling the mysteries surrounding these unsettling occurrences. As of now, a total of 11 wooden boats have been discovered, with some of them showing significant signs of damage. Authorities are currently conducting a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the appearance of the boats, with a particular focus on tracing their origin. In a distressing revelation, a Coast Guard spokesperson disclosed that several boats have been discovered containing as many as 20 individuals on board. This chilling discovery sheds light on the harrowing reality faced by individuals attempting perilous sea crossings. In recent years, multiple vessels have been discovered in the waters of the Sea of Japan, also referred to as the East Sea in North and South Korea. These findings occurred both this month and the preceding one, raising intriguing questions about the origins and intentions of the boats. Numerous vessels have been towed to ports in Japan. However, the process of identifying the individuals on board remains ongoing. The most recent boat that has been located was brought to land at Fukui port, revealing the presence of 3 sets of remains on board. The Maritime Patrol Unit of the Coastal Defense Force identified the vessel approximately 100 kilometers, equivalent to 62 miles away from the shore. The Tokyo Broadcasting System made a statement indicating that the discovered remains were in an advanced state of decomposition. Japan's national broadcaster, NHK, recently disclosed that a fragment of fabric suspected to originate from a North Korean flag was discovered within a vessel. Additionally, inscriptions indicating the Korean People's Army were noted on the exterior of the same vessel. The presence of these peculiar items has sparked intrigue and speculation among experts and officials, prompting a deeper investigation into the origins and implications of such findings. Upon thorough examination, specialists probing the incident have put forth the notion that these vessels and remains might be linked to fishermen from North Korea. In the wake of multiple poor agricultural seasons, the isolated nation is actively engaged in efforts to enhance the quantity of fish caught by its fishermen. Following a series of unfavorable harvests, the nation has embarked on initiatives to boost productivity. The navigational instruments used for fishing are intricate to operate and are notably devoid of essential tools like radars. According to insights shared by a maritime specialist with NHK, these vessels might have been adrift for an extended period, possibly spanning several months, with their locations remaining unknown to anyone. In more extensive discussions, individuals have suggested that the boats might represent individuals striving to flee from the authoritarian regime of the communist state. North Korean vessels frequently appear in the coastal communities of Japan, with an average of around 12 ships from North Korea washing ashore annually along the beaches and harbors. The majority of these ships arrive empty, lacking any signs of life, or containing remnants of wood fuel. On some occasions, these vessels are discovered to house crews of deceased individuals, intensifying concerns about the mysteries associated with North Korea, known for its strict military presence and secretive activities. The presence of these vessels evokes a sense of unease and raises questions about the unknown events unfolding within the borders of North Korea. These occurrences serve as a poignant reminder of the strange and potentially perilous nature of the region, leaving observers pondering the stories and fates of those who embarked on these eerie journeys. The unsettling discoveries on these vessels serve as a stark testament to the complex and shadowy realm that is North Korea, prompting speculation and instilling a sense of foreboding in those who bear witness to these eerie maritime encounters. In the last year alone, a staggering 14 mysterious ghost ships have washed ashore on Japanese coasts, carrying a grim tally of over 30 deceased individuals. These unsettling occurrences continue to baffle Japanese authorities, leaving them grappling with the perplexing question of why these vessels are drifting to their shores, as well as seeking to unravel the mysteries surrounding the unfortunate fate of those on board. The relentless arrival of these ghost ships provokes a sense of unease and curiosity among the investigators, who remain puzzled by the lack of concrete explanations for these haunting phenomena. The prevailing consensus suggests that the individuals found on these boats are likely defectors, individuals who attempted to flee the rule of North Korea only to meet their tragic demise and be disposed of at sea. However, a noted Japanese specialist in North Korean affairs, Satoru Miyamoto, presents a contrasting viewpoint. Miyamoto posits that these deceased individuals could be fishermen potentially hailing from the commercial sector of North Korea. This perspective challenges the widely accepted belief regarding the origins of these mysterious boats and the fate of those on board. Miyamoto's assertion introduces a compelling alternative narrative, questioning the prevalent assumption of defection-related tragedies. Miyamoto holds the belief that the fishermen in question lack any background in military or naval practices, indicating a probable scenario of them becoming disoriented at sea, leading to a tragic fate amidst the harsh marine environment. The vast expanse of the ocean is prone to severe and unpredictable weather conditions, including the menacing threat of typhoons. The potential perils faced by these individuals are harsh, spanning from starvation and hypothermia to the risk of accidental falls overboard. Kim Jong-un's disappearance. In the realm of international politics, few figures loom as large as North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Since assuming power following the passing of his father, Kim Jong-il, in 2011, Kim Jong-un has commanded attention with his authoritarian rule, nuclear ambitions, and unpredictable behavior. Yet, despite his prominence on the world stage, Kim Jong-un's mysterious disappearances from the public eye on multiple occasions have sparked speculation about his health and the stability of his regime. The first notable instance of Kim Jong-un's disappearance occurred in 2014, when he vanished from public view for over 6 weeks, leading to rampant speculation about his health and the stability of the North Korean regime. During his absence, rumors swirled about potential health issues, ranging from a bout of gout to a more serious medical condition, such as a heart attack or stroke. The amount of information from North Korean state media only served to fuel speculation, leading to widespread rumors and conjecture about Kim Jong-un's whereabouts and well-being. In the absence of concrete information, analysts and observers scrutinized every available piece of evidence for clues about Kim Jong-un's health and the implications for the North Korean regime. Satellite imagery of Kim Jong-un's residence and other key locations in Pyongyang was analyzed for signs of unusual activity or increased security measures, while defectors and sources within North Korea were interrogated for any insights they could provide. Yet, despite these efforts, the true nature of Kim Jong-un's disappearance remained shrouded in mystery, leaving observers to speculate about the potential implications for North Korea's future. Kim Jong-un's disappearance from the public eye resurfaced in 2020 when he vanished once again amid rumors of failing health. Speculation reached fever pitch when Kim Jong-un missed the celebration of his grandfather's birthday on April 15th, a significant event in the North Korean calendar that is typically marked by lavish festivities and displays of loyalty to the ruling Kim dynasty. As days turned into weeks without any sign of Kim Jong-un, speculation about his health and the stability of the North Korean regime reached a fever pitch, with rumors swirling about potential succession plans and power struggles within the ruling elite. The uncertainty surrounding Kim Jong-un's disappearance underscored the opaque and secretive nature of the North Korean regime, where information is tightly controlled and dissent is ruthlessly suppressed. In the absence of reliable information from official channels, rumors and speculation run rampant, leading to a climate of uncertainty and anxiety both within North Korea and among the international community. The reappearance of Kim Jong-un weeks later, seemingly healthy and in control, did little to quell speculation about his health or the stability of his regime. While North Korean state media sought to portray him as a strong and capable leader, questions lingered about the true nature of his absence and the extent of his power within the regime. Some analysts speculated that Kim Jong-un's disappearance may have been a deliberate ploy to gauge loyalty and weed out potential rivals, while others suggested that it may have been a genuine health scare that underscored the fragility of his regime. The underground tunnels of North Korea. In the shadowy depths beneath the surface of North Korea lies a labyrinthine network of tunnels that serves as a testament to the regime's ingenuity, paranoia, and determination to safeguard its sovereignty at all costs. These underground passages, spanning hundreds of kilometers and burrowing deep into the earth, are a testament to the regime's commitment to secrecy and self-preservation, offering a glimpse into the hidden world of one of the world's most secretive and authoritarian states. The origins of North Korea's underground tunnels can be traced back to the Korean War, when the regime of Kim Il-sung embarked on an ambitious program to construct a network of secret passages beneath the demilitarized zone that separates North and South Korea. These tunnels, known as the Third Infiltration Tunnel and the Second Infiltration Tunnel, were designed to facilitate covert incursions into South Korea and serve as a means of surprise attack in the event of hostilities between the two Koreas. The Third Infiltration Tunnel, discovered by South Korean forces in 1978, is perhaps the most well-known of North Korea's underground passages. Measuring over 1.6 kilometers in length and located just 44 kilometers from Seoul, the tunnel was designed to accommodate the rapid movement of troops and equipment and enable surprise attacks on South Korean territory. Despite North Korea's claims that the tunnel was intended for coal mining, evidence suggests otherwise, with its dimensions and construction consistent with military use. The discovery of the Third Infiltration Tunnel sparked alarm and outrage in South Korea, leading to increased tensions and a heightened sense of vigilance along the DMZ. In response, South Korean forces embarked on a program of tunnel detection and countermeasures, employing advanced technology and surveillance techniques to uncover and neutralize any further incursions by North Korean forces. Despite these efforts, North Korea's underground tunneling program continued unabated, with subsequent discoveries revealing the existence of additional tunnels beneath the DMZ. The Second Infiltration Tunnel, discovered in 1975, and the Fourth Infiltration Tunnel, discovered in 1990, are believed to be part of a larger network of underground passages designed to facilitate covert operations and surprise attacks on South Korean territory. In addition to their military significance, North Korea's underground tunnels also serve as a means of protecting the regime's leadership and preserving its ability to govern in the event of a conflict or uprising. Deep beneath the surface of Pyongyang, the capital city of North Korea, lies a sprawling complex of underground bunkers and command centers that are designed to withstand even the most devastating of military attacks. These underground facilities, known as the Underground Palace or the Metro of Pyongyang, are believed to house key government officials, military commanders, and strategic assets, ensuring the regime's survival in the event of a nuclear strike or conventional invasion. Equipped with state-of-the-art communications equipment, food and water supplies, and medical facilities, these underground bunkers are a testament to the regime's determination to maintain control and resist external threats at all costs. Yet, despite the regime's efforts to conceal the existence of its underground tunnels and bunkers, evidence of their existence has gradually come to light through defector testimonies, satellite imagery, and the occasional discovery by South Korean forces. While the true extent of North Korea's underground network remains shrouded in secrecy, it is clear that these tunnels play a critical role in the regime's military strategy and its ability to withstand external pressure. In recent years, North Korea's underground tunnels have garnered renewed attention amid escalating tensions on the Korean peninsula and the regime's ongoing development of nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles. As the threat of conflict looms ever larger, the existence of these tunnels serves as a sobering reminder of the regime's willingness to resort to extreme measures to ensure its survival and maintain its grip on power. While some of these tunnels have been discovered and made public, the full extent of North Korea's tunneling activities remains a mystery. Mysterious unmanned plane spotted in North Korea. In the latest commercial satellite images analyzed by NK-PRO, a significant discovery emerged. A sizable, advanced North Korean military drone made its debut. This milestone indicates an ongoing exploration of unmanned aerial vehicle technology within the nation, aligning closely with the strategic objectives set by leader Kim Jong-un. The unveiling of this new drone serves as a testament to North Korea's continuous efforts to advance its UAV capabilities and strengthen its military arsenal. The recently unveiled aircraft seems to boast a wingspan of approximately 115 feet, equal to 35 meters, marking a significant increase in size compared to a model with a wingspan of roughly 65 feet or 20 meters that was observed on the runway of the Pangyon Air Base by NK-PRO on June 3rd. This event marked the first instance where the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has been recorded testing a contemporary drone. The most recent satellite imagery from Planet Labs reveals the presence of an aircraft sporting slender wings that bear a striking resemblance to established foreign drone models. This aircraft was spotted in close proximity to the location, where a smaller aircraft was observed just last week, situated at the eastern terminus of the runway. In the realm of aerial technology, there exists a foreign counterpart that bears a striking resemblance, when viewed from above, to the RQ-4A Global Hawk, an aircraft conceptualized by the United States during the late 1990s. This foreign model mirrors the dimensions of the Global Hawk in terms of wingspan. In addition to the presence of the aircraft, various vehicles were observed in the vicinity of the runway. According to an expert interviewed by NK Pro recently, the vehicles or items spotted in similar locations on June 3rd might have been equipped with specialized tools like antennas essential for the testing of drone flights. This suggests the possibility of conducting drone flight experiments in the area. The specialized equipment carried by these vehicles could play a crucial role in facilitating and monitoring the drone testing processes. The detailed imagery provided by Planet Labs did not indicate any activities related to testing at the airbase. However, during this period, there was observed ongoing activity focusing on repainting the runway stripes, suggesting maintenance and improvement work being conducted at the airbase. North Korean official media outlets have remained silent on advancements in the country's drone technology since January 2021, following Kim Jong-un's call for the production of unmanned striking equipment and reconnaissance drones capable of covering a distance of 310 miles or 500 kilometers by the conclusion of 2025. This directive from the North Korean leader emphasized the urgency of enhancing their unmanned aerial capabilities within a specific time frame to meet strategic objectives. The purpose behind the presence of the two aircraft observed at Pangyon Air Base this month is ambiguous as to whether they are designated for combat operations or reconnaissance missions. The developmental phase of every aircraft remains undisclosed, adding a layer of mystery to the situation. It is anticipated that state media will refrain from revealing specific information or arranging an inspection by Kim Jong-un until the aircraft projects have significantly progressed. This secretive approach suggests a deliberate strategy to maintain confidentiality and keep crucial details under wraps until a later stage. The mysterious demise of Otto Warmbier. The untimely demise of Otto Warmbier on Monday, June 19th, sheds light on the intricacies of the North Korean regime. His situation stands out due to its rarity, as North Korea typically does not subject its foreign detainees to physical abuse resulting in long-lasting harm. The details surrounding the 22-year-old student's ordeal during his roughly 18 months of confinement in North Korea, which commenced in January of the previous year, remain largely elusive. Following his repatriation to the United States mere days before his passing, medical professionals attending to Warmbier highlighted a significant loss of brain tissue that occurred during his time in North Korea. They noted from MRI scans that he likely sustained a brain injury soon after receiving a harsh 15-year sentence of hard labor in March 2016. Despite thorough examinations, there were no compelling indications of physical assault, coercion, or similar mistreatment. North Korean medical personnel attributed his condition to botulism and the consumption of a sleeping aid that rendered him unresponsive, whereas American doctors found no substantiating evidence of botulism in their assessments. During his ordeal in North Korean captivity, the circumstances surrounding Warmbier's treatment remain shrouded in mystery. However, it is sadly not uncommon for individuals to endure inhumane conditions under the North Korean regime. The extended duration of Warmbier's captivity, despite his deteriorating health, highlights a troubling disregard for basic human rights when political agendas take precedence. This situation epitomizes the harsh reality faced by individuals detained in North Korea, where humanitarian principles often take a back seat to political expediency. The lack of transparency regarding Warmbier's treatment underscores the systematic opacity and cruelty prevalent within the North Korean detention system. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the grave human rights abuses that persist within the confines of North Korean detention facilities, where individuals like Warmbier are left vulnerable to the whims of a regime. In the midst of the international jests aimed at the leader and personality cult of North Korea, it is crucial not to overlook the grim reality that the country is still deeply entrenched in the grip of a severe police state. Within the confines of North Korea, countless individuals face atrocities comparable to, or in some instances, surpassing the ordeal endured by Warmbier. The labor camps in North Korea stand as stark reminders of the ruthless regime, where individuals find themselves incarcerated for actions that would not even be considered criminal in most Western legal systems. Instead, the North Korean government deems these acts as politically subversive, such as the mere act of introducing foreign cultural influences. It is unimaginable in any other context than that of an oppressively totalitarian regime for a young man like Warmbier to receive a 15-year sentence of grueling labor for attempting to pilfer a propaganda banner. The North Korean authorities alleged that he had colluded with a church in his homeland to orchestrate the overthrow of the state system, yet they failed to provide substantial evidence to support their claims. This incident exemplifies the extreme measures and unjust practices that prevail in North Korea, shedding light on the deep-rooted repression and lack of basic freedoms endured by its populace. In trying to comprehend the North Korean response to the situation, the strategic rationale behind their actions appears perplexing. Throughout history, North Korea has exhibited a pattern of releasing detained Americans subsequent to visits by significant American dignitaries. An illustrative instance of this occurred in August 2009 when American journalists Yoona Lee and Laura Ling regained their freedom from North Korean captivity. This liberation transpired subsequent to a visit to Pyongyang by former President Bill Clinton, who orchestrated their repatriation after their capture in March of the same year. Another noteworthy incident transpired in 2014 when the then Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, journeyed to Pyongyang with the objective of facilitating the return of imprisoned Americans Kenneth Bae and Todd Miller. Remarkably, during his interactions, Clapper noted the discontent of his North Korean counterparts upon realizing that his visit was not aimed at securing any diplomatic advantages for Pyongyang. This sequence of events underscores the intricate and enigmatic dynamics involved in North Korea's handling of such cases. North Korea's treatment of Otto Warmbier starkly contrasts with its usual behavior, as it seemingly served no clear purpose for the regime. Contrary to North Korea's claims of releasing him on humanitarian grounds, the prevailing belief now is that the regime's intention was merely to prevent his death within their borders. The repercussions of this incident appear to offer little benefit to North Korea, while the evident losses are substantial. The tourism sector, which Kim Jong-un aimed to develop, is likely to suffer, particularly in terms of American visitors. Annually, around 5,000 Westerners travel to North Korea, with approximately 1,000 of them originating from the United States. Following the imprisonment of 2 US journalists in 2009, a total of 14 Americans have been detained in North Korea, leaving 3 currently incarcerated. Amid these events, Young Pioneer Tours, the agency responsible for Warmbier's trip, has already declared that they will no longer include American tourists in their future expeditions. The US government may potentially impose measures to dissuade or prohibit travel to North Korea, similar to previous restrictions on visiting Cuba, which could soon be reinstated. Notably, every tourist spending money in North Korea indirectly supports the regime's operations, including its nuclear and missile programs, given that all tour operators within North Korea are affiliated with the state. While some suggest that tourism could foster cultural exchange and mutual respect, it is interesting to observe that the US government expressed its intent in 1998 to facilitate group travel and exchanges with North Korea, reflecting support for policies of reconciliation with South Korea. Tourism and interactions with North Korea remain a topic shrouded in uncertainty when it comes to their beneficial outcomes. Over a significant period, discussions have occurred intermittently between representatives from North Korea and the United States, involving both current and former governmental figures in unofficial capacities. Recent dialogues have centered on critical issues such as the situation of American prisoners in North Korea, all while North Korea persists in its advancements in nuclear and missile tests, demonstrating a heightened level of technical sophistication. The advocates within the United States, supporting diplomatic discussions with North Korea, now find themselves navigating an even more challenging landscape following the tragic passing of Warmbier. The outlook for official US engagement with North Korea appears increasingly grim, particularly as the current administration would be reluctant to extend any concessions to a regime whose actions resulted in the death of one of its citizens. In the intricate dynamics of the North Korean power structure, it is plausible that certain factions within the regime advocated for the release of Otto Warmbier long before his health reached a critical state, while more rigid elements resisted until his condition became irreversible. It is widely acknowledged that the North Korean healthcare system falls significantly short of meeting Western standards. However, delving into the rationale behind North Korea's decisions at that juncture remains purely conjectural. It is only through speculation that we can attempt to comprehend the underlying factors. It is conceivable that the true motives and deliberations that culminated in the tragic demise of Warmbier will only come to light if someday the archives of the North Korean secret police are unveiled. This potential revelation holds the promise of shedding light on the circumstances and decisions that ultimately led to the fateful outcome. These unsolved mysteries from North Korea reflect the isolated and secretive nature of the regime, which has made it challenging for outsiders to obtain concrete information or answers. As long as North Korea remains isolated and tightly controls information, these mysteries are likely to persist, leaving the world with many unanswered questions about the regime's actions and intentions. Antarctica stands out as a vastly uncharted region, inhabited by only a handful of individuals. However, amidst its desolate landscapes, numerous captivating revelations have come to light in recent times. The latest findings circulating on social media encompass perplexing discoveries that defy easy explanation. Enthusiastic amateur investigators claim that numerous locations across Antarctica are undergoing a process of gradual melting, uncovering peculiar structures hidden beneath the ice. While it is emphasized by scientific experts that Antarctica holds no extraordinary secrets, and the majority of these revelations can be rationalized through natural occurrences, this has not deterred some individuals from dedicating extensive hours scrutinizing archival images of Antarctica and utilizing tools like Google Earth to identify mysterious, seemingly out-of-place formations. This phenomenon has sparked curiosity and intrigue within the online community, prompting widespread discussions and speculations about the possible origins and implications of these unearthed anomalies. The unfolding narrative surrounding these mysterious findings serves as a testament to the enduring fascination with the mysterious and unexplored regions of our planet, inviting further exploration and analysis to unravel the secrets hidden beneath the icy surface of Antarctica. While scouring the virtual landscape of Google Earth, an intrepid individual noticed something anomalous, a structure emerging from the ice, reminiscent of a bygone era. What began as a casual browsing session soon transformed into a journey of exploration and revelation as the mysterious object revealed itself to the individual, and many who saw the structure suggested that it could be an abandoned base that once belonged to the Germans. The story begins with an ordinary individual, armed with nothing more than a computer and an insatiable curiosity, navigating the virtual terrain of Google Earth in search of hidden treasures. As they panned and zoomed across the desolate expanses of Antarctica, their attention was drawn to a peculiar structure protruding from the ice, an angular, man-made edifice stark against the pristine whiteness of the surrounding landscape. Intrigued by this unexpected find, they delved deeper, scouring satellite imagery for clues to its origin and purpose. What they uncovered was nothing short of astonishing, a forgotten relic of a bygone era, preserved in the icy depths of Antarctica. The individual said that upon closer examination, it revealed the telltale signs of human habitation, ruins of buildings, and remnants of what appeared to be old structures scattered across the frozen landscape. The discovery sent ripples of excitement through the world of history and archaeology as amateur enthusiasts clamored to unravel the mysteries of this forgotten outpost. The implications of the discovery are profound, raising questions about the extent of German influence in Antarctica and the potential ramifications for our understanding of the region's history. This revelation sparked a flurry of reactions among viewers of the accompanying photographs. While some identified the object as one massive base, others theorized it resembled the remnants of an ancient city. Speculation arose that this unearthing could potentially serve as evidence of early human presence in the region, engaged in the construction of imposing edifices. One individual pondered that if presented with the image devoid of any context, observers might liken it to a structure akin to a building or the wreckage of a seafaring vessel. Oftentimes, when claims are made regarding such discoveries in Antarctica, individuals tend to dismiss them automatically. The essence of science lies in continuous learning and the correction of our understanding of the Earth's history. During that period, Germany's aspirations transcended the confines of European battlegrounds, encompassing broader ambitions and strategies that reached beyond the continent's borders. In an effort to gain strategic leverage and assert supremacy in the aftermath of the war, German scientists and military officials contemplated a bold plan to set up strongholds in Antarctica. This ambitious proposal aimed to solidify their position on the global stage and expand their influence beyond conventional territories. Germany's fascination with Antarctica is fueled by a compelling combination of strategic, scientific, and ideological motivations. Strategically, the country sees Antarctica as a pivotal location with significant implications for its global interests. The immense and frozen landscape of the Antarctic continent harbored vast, untapped resources and strategic military advantages, presenting an alluring opportunity for a government keen on extending its territorial control and military dominance. The uninhabited icy terrain of Antarctica offered lucrative prospects for exploration and exploitation, which could significantly contribute to the economic and military strength of a nation with expansionist ambitions. Antarctica's extreme remoteness not only held a strong appeal due to its secretive and isolated nature, but also provided a secure sanctuary for covert activities to be carried out discreetly, shielded from the scrutiny of Allied intelligence agencies. In the period preceding World War II, Germany's fascination with Antarctica experienced a gradual surge, driven by a series of exploratory missions and dedicated scientific investigations. The German Antarctic expedition, under the leadership of Captain Alfred Richer in the span of 1938 to 1939, remains a prominent exploration venture in history, particularly notable for its extensive mapping of vast Antarctic coastal regions and the subsequent territorial claims made on behalf of Germany. This expedition, renowned for its significance, not only contributed to the scientific understanding of the region, but also fueled the aspirations and ambitions of Germany during that era, bolstered by the expedition's discoveries and insights into the abundant natural resources and potential strategic advantages present in the Antarctic. The Antarctic expedition, conducted by the Germans aboard the vessel Schwabenland, which took place from 17th of December 1938 to 12th of April 1939, stands as a relatively obscure voyage in Antarctic exploration history. This expedition, occurring just before the onset of World War II, ventured into the western region, recognized today as Dronning Maudland. The Germans embarked on this voyage during a significant period in history, traversing the icy expanses of the Antarctic continent. The exploration was initiated due to apprehensions within the German governmental circles regarding the sustainability and viability of the German whaling sector. In the region of Dronning Maudland, where the Norwegian whaling fleets first explored, a significant discovery was made. While the land had not yet been formally acknowledged with its current name, unofficial claims on its behalf had already been put forward by Norway, even though there was no official royal proclamation confirming these assertions. In light of the British imposition of heavy fees and restrictions on whaling operations in the South Atlantic, the German government was eager to avoid a similar predicament. Consequently, a covert mission was strategized with the intent of staking a territorial claim in Antarctica on behalf of Germany. The primary goal was to identify a suitable site for establishing a German whaling fleet base. This clandestine expedition received approval from Hermann Göring as part of the German four-year plan aimed at fostering economic growth. The expedition had both public and undisclosed goals. Publicly, it aimed to extend the scientific research initiated by Erich von Drygalski and Wilhelm Filchner in the early 20th century near 90 degrees east and in the Weddell Sea, respectively. However, alongside these scientific pursuits, the expedition harbored covert military objectives. Upon its homeward voyage, it intended to assess the viability of the remote Brazilian isles of Ilha Trinidade and Ilhas Martin Vaz, situated approximately 1,000 kilometers east of Vitoria in Brazil, as potential landing sites for the German Navy, particularly for U-boats. This assessment aimed to evaluate the strategic advantages these islands could offer for naval operations, emphasizing the importance of geographical considerations in military planning. At first glance, Antarctica may appear to be little more than an inhospitable wasteland of ice and snow, a vast, desolate expanse devoid of life and civilization. Yet, upon closer inspection, the continent reveals itself to be a place of profound geological, ecological, and climatological significance. a crucible of scientific inquiry and discovery unlike any other on Earth. From the towering peaks of the Transantarctic Mountains to the otherworldly landscapes of the dry valleys, Antarctica is a land of contrasts and contradictions, where the forces of nature reign supreme and the boundaries of human understanding are continually tested. One of the most enduring mysteries of Antarctica lies in its geological history, a tale written in the rocks and ice that blanket the continent's surface. Over millions of years, Antarctica has undergone dramatic transformations, from a lush, temperate paradise to the frozen wilderness we see today. Yet, evidence of its ancient past lies hidden beneath the ice, waiting to be unearthed by intrepid scientists and explorers. Another mystery that has confounded researchers for decades is the presence of anomalous magnetic anomalies known as Antarctic anomalies. Perhaps the most tantalizing mystery of Antarctica lies in its potential to unlock secrets about the origins of life on Earth and the possibility of mysterious life elsewhere in the universe. The continent's extreme environment, characterized by sub-zero temperatures, high winds, and near-total darkness, bears a striking resemblance to the conditions found on other planets and moons in our solar system. As such, Antarctica serves as a natural laboratory for astrobiological research, offering insights into the limits of life's adaptability and the potential for habitability beyond Earth. The mysterious organism 46b. Organism 46b is said to inhabit Lake Vostok, which is situated at a depth of almost 700 feet beneath the glacial surface of the ice in its shallowest section, and around 2,600 feet at its deepest region. At this particular depth, the ice from the Antarctic glaciers experiences sufficient pressure to undergo melting and give rise to profound lakes. Organism 46b dwells within Lake Vostok, one of these deep lakes. An allegedly leaked paper pertaining to the initial endeavors conducted by Russian researchers on February 5, 2012, during their drilling expedition to the lake's surface, mentioned the existence of a species identified as Organism 46b. The report, titled Organism 46b, described a peculiar account by Russian scientists who allegedly came across a colossal squid of immense proportions residing in the lake. According to the report, this creature had the ability to release toxins into the water, compress its body into smaller dimensions, assume unusual shapes, alter its physical colors, and induce a mild form of hypnotism if observed for an extended period of time. Here are quotes from the supposed letter written by a man named Dr. Anton Padalka. "We encountered Organism 46b on our first day. It disabled our radio, which we later learned, to our alarm, was intentional. It's also able to paralyze prey from a distance of up to 150 feet by releasing its venom into the water. Tragically, my colleague and lifelong friend was taken out this way. He was treading water wearing a blissful smile as the organism approached him. It was as if it had hypnotized him telepathically. It shaped itself into the form of a human diver. We thought it was one of my colleagues swimming towards us in scuba gear. By the time the closest scientist had realized what it was, it had grabbed him and torn him to bits." End quote. According to certain versions of the narrative, it is said that one of the creature's tentacles was amputated, but later regained animation and strangled another team member. According to the legend, only a small number of individuals from the expedition survived, and Russian officials apprehended the creature in an effort to conceal the incident. Although Organism 46b possesses extraordinary skills, its reported characteristics closely resemble those of real-world squid and octopus beings. Each capacity attributed to Organism 46b aligns well with the abilities observed in deep-sea cephalopods, which inhabit an environment characterized by comparable conditions of light, pressure, and water quality. This analysis of the possible capacity for telepathic abilities in the creature, as well as a scientific explanation of how this talent could be understood. Comprehending the telepathic capabilities of Organism 46b is a challenging and almost unattainable task, given that the mechanics behind telepathy remain mostly elusive in contemporary times. Nevertheless, it is possible to speculate about the factors that could potentially account for the telepathic skills of certain marine species based on assumptions and available evidence. It is crucial to acknowledge that there is much evidence and scientific research in the field of neuroscience, which aims to decode the seemingly random electrical impulses of neurons into usable information that can be shown or comprehended. In 1999, a research investigation conducted by Dan Yang at the University of California, Berkeley, effectively replicated a cat's visual perception of the real world using raw data obtained from visual neurons. The utilization of poisons derived from organism 46B appears to be based on actual instances of cephalopods employing minute quantities of deadly toxins in contemporary times. The blue-ringed octopus is a small octopus, approximately the size of a golf ball, that possesses a potent venom capable of causing the passing of 26 adult males if injected. The blue-ringed octopus possesses various peculiar talents, including the capacity for jet propulsion. It achieves this by channeling water, enabling it to move significantly faster in the water than other marine species. Organism 46B may potentially exhibit these skills and have the capability to expel poison, similar to an ink sac, in order to immobilize larger species. This is assuming the veracity of the size of the creature. If the assertions regarding organism 46B are to be accepted as true, the creature possesses the subsequent capabilities that have enabled it to eliminate multiple persons within an exceptionally brief period. The black demon shark. Despite the widespread knowledge among scholars about the megalodon, a historic shark species larger than several present-day whale species, there are still claims of unrecorded sharks that surpass the great white shark in terms of size and strength. There is a widespread belief that it would have been highly unlikely for the shark species to survive, as some argue that it is impossible for any shark to grow to such an enormous size again. Nevertheless, this assertion appears to be at risk due to the emergence of tales regarding the sighting of a colossal black shark, commonly known as the black demon shark, in the vicinity of Mexico's Baja California peninsula. Several fishermen along the Mexican coast have reported sightings of a colossal black shark measuring approximately 60 feet in length. The shark bears a resemblance to a great white shark in terms of its body structure, but is distinguished by its dark pigmentation and exceptionally large tail. Considering the resemblance of these accounts to contemporary recreations involving megalodon skeletons, as well as their consistent tail size, some individuals have come to assume that this location could potentially serve as a hunting area for the beast. In addition, a significant number of the fishermen who have reported the sighting are experienced veterans in the field who have never previously made such claims and had extensive knowledge of various whale species in the area. A fisherman claimed an encounter with a shark while retrieving nets. He saw a collision with his boat, prompting him to investigate. Upon reaching the stern of his boat, he observed its length to be in excess of 30 feet. He then claimed to have spotted a dark-colored shark approximately 2 feet below the water's surface, speculating that this creature was responsible for the collision with his boat. According to the fisherman, the shark exceeded the length of his boat, measuring at least 35 feet. While observing it, he noted that it did not resemble any of the indigenous sharks in the vicinity. Despite having fished in this area for numerous years, this was his inaugural encounter with such a specimen. Curiously, he mentioned that most of the wildlife departed from the region at approximately the same time. Oceanic fauna may vacate a region in the presence of a shark as a result of an innate drive for self-preservation. Sharks are top-level predators that are renowned for their hunting and feeding habits on other aquatic organisms. Consequently, numerous marine creatures have developed the ability to detect the existence of a shark and react by swiftly moving away or concealing themselves in order to evade becoming a predator's meal. Furthermore, several fish species and other marine creatures possess the capability to perceive the electromagnetic fields generated by sharks through their muscles, enabling them to recognize the presence of a shark even in the absence of visual cues. This phenomenon is referred to as electroreception, and it may also play a role in the innate reaction of marine animals to the presence of a shark. Following the experience, the fisherman made an effort to meticulously record all the circumstances in the hope of unraveling the mystery of what he had encountered. Despite the passage of several weeks, the man failed to gain any further insight into the nature of the shark. However, he did observe that fellow fishermen in the vicinity also reported sightings of the same creature. They characterized it as a massive, dark-hued shark, measuring more than 40 feet in length. Another possible explanation is that the shark could be a hypermelanistic great white shark, which has experienced hyperpigmentation and turned melanistic. This particular species of shark had the potential to reach its complete adult size. Hypermelanism is a biological condition where there is an overproduction of melanin, causing animals to have a darker skin color. This is in contrast to albinism, which is the absence of melanin resulting in a light skin color. This phenomenon has been observed in certain species of cat sharks and rays. There is a potential for it to occur in great white sharks as well, particularly those that reach lengths over 20 feet. The presence of hypermelanism in great white sharks might have substantial consequences for their physical appearance and behavior in their natural habitat, as well as for our comprehension. Currently, fishermen in this region are still encountering this sizable shark and continue to believe that this shark, measuring over 30 feet in length, actively preys on marine life in this area. The Carnival Cruise Monster. An unidentified creature, known as the Carnival Cruise Monster, was observed in the Gulf of Mexico from the deck of a cruise liner. The investigation was initially conducted by novelist Max Hawthorne, who introduced the term Carnival Cruise Monster. Paul George, a worker aboard a Carnival Cruise Line's ship, saw an unidentifiable monster that he reported looked similar to an ancient mosasaur. Only the torso and the cranium of the organism were ever observed or depicted. The object had a glossy, ebony appearance, characterized by taut and substantial leather-like texture. According to his account, the creature did not respire through a blowhole like a whale. Rather, it would emerge to the surface and respire in a manner similar to that of a crocodile. The object was reported to have a minimum length of 50 feet, surpassing the size of the ship's lifeboats, which measure approximately 30 feet. Despite Paul's characterization of it as whale-sized, he clarified that it did not possess the slender and elongated shape often associated with whales. The creature has a robust and muscular neck, giving it a broad physique. The interview conducted by Max Hawthorne with Paul George, a resident of the United Kingdom, who observed a massive and unidentified marine creature from the upper deck of the Carnival Breeze in 2014, generated significant attention upon its initial release. The notion that something enormous and still unknown marine creature could potentially inhabit our waters and even serenely match the speed of a cruise ship in the heart of the Gulf of Mexico has captivated the minds of several individuals. Max made the decision to contact Paul George again, with the intention of narrowing down potential candidates for his observations. Accepting the anecdotal report as it is, Max endeavored to get a definitive conclusion regarding the identity of the Carnival Cruise Monster. Upon sharing with Paul various dorsal images of numerous large whale species, including the elusive beaked whale, Max reported that he reached the conclusion that he did not observe any type of cetacean. The absence of spouting, characteristic of whales, was observed. Instead, its exhalation originated from beneath the surface, a behavior commonly observed in marine turtles and crocodilians. Crocodiles engage in this behavior to achieve camouflage, which is highly advantageous for a marine predator that relies on stealth. Given the propulsion mechanism resembling a tail or caudal fin, it seems that the only plausible option left is a mosasaur or a marine crocodile. The color and texture of the object observed by Paul eliminates the possibility of it being a crocodile, and instead suggests that it is highly likely to be a mosasaur. The Lake Baikal Humanoids. Lake Baikal, the oldest and deepest lake in the world, is located in Siberia and was used for regular training exercises by Russian Navy divers in the late 1980s. However, the findings they made during one of their dives were far from ordinary. Multiple divers reported witnessing mysterious humanoid beings, igniting significant curiosity and conjecture over their observations. Siberia, a Russian province, has been a lengthy location where UFO sightings and interactions with alien beings have been reported for numerous generations. One of the noteworthy places in Siberia where such occurrences have been witnessed is Lake Baikal. This extensive expanse of water is famous for its distinctive environment that supports a plethora of uncommon species. The swimmers in Lake Baikal once caused panic among Russian Navy divers because of their formidable strength, which unfortunately led to the passing of 3 divers as a result of decompression sickness. The Lake Baikal swimmers are a group of aquatic humanoid creatures that encountered Russian naval divers in 1982 evoking curiosity and fascination. This fascinating encounter took place during a typical military diving mission at a depth of 50 meters, which is comparable to 164 feet. The divers were suddenly captivated by the presence of a strange entity sharing the waters with them. The divers recorded observations of humanoid beings with extended bodies measuring up to 3 meters or 9 feet in length. In addition to their immense size, the divers discovered several indications suggesting that the entities they encountered were of extraterrestrial origin. These humanoid beings were distinct from anything observed on Earth, arousing curiosity and conjecture regarding their source and intention. The pictured creatures were distinguished by their silver contours, with select entities embellished with transparent orbs on their heads. These orbs have been compared to the visual representation of an unfurled umbrella positioned above the creatures' heads. This description provides a comprehensive portrayal of the figures, highlighting their unique characteristics that differentiate them from others. Upon resurfacing from the profound depths of Lake Baikal, the divers expeditiously communicated their astounding finding to a superior official. As a reply, the commander directed the divers to submerge again into the frigid waters and apprehend one of these mysterious marine creatures. A group of 7 courageous divers ventured into the lake once more, encountering the Lake Baikal swimmers. These swimmers demonstrated remarkable power by forcefully forcing the Soviet divers back to the surface. This extraordinary meeting not only demonstrated the divers' ability to recover quickly from difficulties, but also emphasized the incredible skills possessed by these elusive aquatic species inhabiting the depths of Lake Baikal. The insufficient presence of decompression chambers along the coastline led to a terrible scenario where all 7 divers could not be accommodated, resulting in 3 unfortunate divers succumbing to decompression sickness, also referred to as caisson disease or the bends. This sad episode represented a fatal shift in the attempts to communicate with the Lake Baikal swimmers. The insufficient allocation of resources to satisfy decompression requirements left the divers vulnerable to the lethal repercussions of their fall into the depths. Nikolai Kareev, a fisherman residing in the picturesque village of Kultuk, has recently regaled local historians with a captivating narrative, recalling a memorable fishing expedition from the 1990s. According to Kareev, while fishing at night with his friends, they witnessed a spectacular and puzzling sight. Supposedly, as they were fishing at night, they were amazed to see unusual events happening in the calm lake waters. Within the expansive Lake Baikal, the fishermen had a profound sense of trepidation when they encountered mysterious monsters that posed a threat of capsizing their boats, thereby submerging them into the frigid depths. The crew made a desperate attempt to catch one of these elusive silver creatures by using large nets in the cold waters. However, they quickly returned to the safety of the beach, feeling disturbed by the strange experience. Their frightening encounter had a profound impact on their minds, deterring them from ever returning to that specific region of Lake Baikal. Furthermore, apart from the evidence already provided, there is a folklore tale about a local farmer who shared a story with a traveler about legendary pharaohs living in the vicinity of the lake. According to the local legends, these pharaohs who lived in the lake were thought to have deliberately caused a boat to drown. This led the locals to respond by throwing nets into the water and managing to bring over 50 of these pharaohs onto the shore. This folklore not only enhances the local legends with an aura of mystery, but also exemplifies the deeply ingrained beliefs and habits that are widespread among the locals in that area. According to ancient tradition, pharaohs were supposed to have a humanoid form with heads, arms, hands and legs, but they also possessed paws and a fishtail. According to legend, the locals allegedly used birch rods to whip the pharaohs and then threw them back into the lake. This punitive action was not solely corporeal, it conveyed a potent symbolic significance. The pharaohs disappeared from the region, never to be witnessed again. The reports concerning the presence of humanoid beings have not been officially confirmed or refuted by the authorities. These reports have generated a substantial amount of curiosity and fascination within the paranormal world. Several theories have arisen to elucidate the origins of these humanoid beings. There is speculation that these occurrences could be the result of covert tests carried out by the government. However, alternative viewpoints suggest that these things might be of extraterrestrial origin, coming from outer space, or perhaps remains of a lost ancient civilization. The Corfu Island creature. A Scottish tourist in the Greek islands took an unusual picture of what looks to be an unidentified sea animal, and when the photograph was posted, it went viral. Harvey Robertson embarked on a boat excursion around the coast of Paga, navigating through sea caverns accompanied by his family. Initially, he attempted to capture the distinctive hue of the surrounding water using his iPhone camera. Robertson did not witness the species in real time, but while reviewing his video footage, he observed a grey creature that has a resemblance to a stretched-out manatee. In one photo, the peculiar creature emerges from the water, only to vanish behind the greenish water in the following image. The viral photo has generated conjecture among amateur zoologists and enthusiasts of mythical creatures over the identity of this peculiar animal, with suggestions ranging from a beaked whale to a hypothetical hybrid offspring of a hippopotamus and a crocodile. Although the image may share certain superficial characteristics with other animals, it does not resemble any known species. While the concepts are intriguing, marine researchers planning to embark on a lengthy research expedition in the picturesque Greek islands to study this creature may wish to postpone their travel arrangements, as the chimera has already been identified. According to Dr. Darren Neisch, a zoologist at the National Oceanography Centre at the University of Southampton and host of the Tetrapod Zoology podcast, conducting a skin sample biopsy of the creature would likely show significant amounts of polyvinyl chloride. Essentially, his belief is that the creature is a detached plastic freeboard fender, which is a boat accessory used for protection against damage that subsequently drifted away into the ocean. This theory is widely accepted among amateur researchers. Cassie. In the picturesque waters of Casco Bay, Maine, a legendary sea serpent known as Cassie has captured the imagination of locals and visitors for generations. Described as an enormous serpentine creature, Cassie is said to inhabit the deep, mysterious waters of the bay, occasionally surfacing to astonish and bewilder those fortunate enough to witness it. Despite skepticism from the scientific community, numerous credible eyewitness accounts and consistent descriptions suggest that Cassie is real and genuine. Casco Bay, with its rugged coastline, numerous islands and deep, cold waters, is an ideal habitat for a large, elusive sea serpent. According to local legends and testimonies, Cassie is described as a massive serpentine creature measuring between 50 to 100 feet in length. Witnesses report that the creature has a long, sinuous body, a horse-like head, and dark, smooth skin. Cassie is often seen undulating through the water, creating large waves and wakes as it moves. One of the most compelling aspects of the Cassie legend is the consistency of eyewitness reports. Over the years, numerous fishermen, sailors, and recreational boaters have recounted encounters with the sea serpent. These accounts often describe similar features and behaviors, lending credibility to the testimonies. For instance, in 1779, a group of American soldiers stationed on Peaks Island reported seeing a massive sea creature swimming in the bay. Their detailed descriptions matched those of later sightings, suggesting a long-standing presence of the creature in Casco Bay. Another notable encounter occurred in 1958 when a group of fishermen reported seeing Cassie near the shore of Harpswell. According to their account, the sea serpent surfaced close to their boat, giving them a clear view of its enormous serpentine body and distinctive head. The fishermen, experienced and familiar with the local marine life, were adamant that what they saw was not a whale, shark, or any known marine animal. Their sighting was corroborated by other boaters in the area, who also reported seeing a large, mysterious creature in the water. Further supporting evidence comes from the numerous photographs and videos taken by eyewitnesses over the years. While many of these images are inconclusive due to the challenges of capturing clear footage of a moving object in the water, some have provided intriguing glimpses of a large serpentine creature. These visual records, combined with the consistent descriptions from eyewitnesses, suggest that Cassie may be more than just a legend. The scientific community has long been skeptical of sea serpent sightings, often attributing them to misidentifications of known marine animals, floating debris, or optical illusions. However, the sheer number of credible sightings and the consistency of the descriptions make it difficult to dismiss the possibility of an unknown marine creature inhabiting Casco Bay. Marine biologists and those interested in the unknown have proposed several theories to explain the existence of Cassie, ranging from a surviving population of prehistoric marine reptiles to a previously undiscovered species of large eel or fish. One plausible theory is that Cassie could be a type of marine reptile, similar to the extinct plesiosaurs that once roamed the oceans. These ancient creatures, with their long necks and streamlined bodies, bear a striking resemblance to the descriptions of Cassie. While plesiosaurs are believed to have gone extinct millions of years ago, it is not impossible that a small, relict population could have survived in the remote and deep waters of Casco Bay. Another theory suggests that Cassie could be an exceptionally large specimen of a known marine species, such as an oarfish or giant eel. Oarfish, which can grow up to 36 feet in length, have long, ribbon-like bodies and are known to inhabit deep ocean waters. Similarly, some species of eels can reach lengths of up to 12 feet. If such creatures grew to even larger sizes in the deep, nutrient-rich waters of Casco Bay, they could easily be mistaken for sea serpents. The implications of discovering a real living sea serpent like Cassie are profound.